Hard to believe basketball is already upon us. How would you assess the summer and your expectations for this team this year?
I think it's been a good summer. It's nice to have some returning faces for the first time in a couple years. So that made getting through things a little bit easier. But yeah, it was a good summer. A little bit sad that it's coming to an end, but I guess it's a necessary thing and looking forward to the season.
Yeah, well, you mentioned retaining. You have 9 players coming back. You did have one of the youngest teams in the MAC last season. How much does just having most of those players get a year under the belt help you as you continue to build this year?
Yeah, it just helps you get through things a little bit faster. You got some returning players that know the terminology and have an understanding of what you're trying to do. And I think you're just able to get through things. I think we're further along this year at this point than we were last year at this point. We'll obviously see how we grow through the rest of the month, but I think we're in a good spot today.
You did have 3 All-MAC honorees last year. How much are you going to rely on them in particular this season?
A ton. I think that experience, and then bringing in a couple transfers that have played college basketball, there's nothing better than that experience. That you just can't replace that. You can't expedite it. It's something that you have to earn, and that playing college basketball at a high level is just incredibly valuable. And having that under their belt helps you become a better player, makes me look like a better coach.
Well, you mentioned the newcomers, five in total, 2 big-time transfers. What more can you tell us about some of the new faces we'll see for your team?
I think Anissa and Aaliyah bring experience, both having played 4 years of college basketball, and been a part of a Division I program for 4 years. You can just tell by the way that they conduct themselves on a daily basis, that they have experience and they understand what it takes to compete at a high level. Then you counteract that at the other end of the spectrum with Gigi and Danny and Madison, and they're completely new to college basketball. And that's fun too, because each day is new to them. Each day is kind of an eye-opening experience, and in particular, 3 of them just attack it each day with a great bit of joy and eagerness and excitement. And it's the kind of excitement that you need to kind of keep things going when things get a little bit slow and boring and things of that sort. So I think they're a good combination. I think that class has done a nice job so far.
Yeah, no question. As you look at what your team was able to accomplish a season ago, what were some of the areas of focus for you in terms of improvement heading into this season?
We got to get better across the board. Obviously the turnovers and the rebounding statistically were the big problems. But we can shoot the ball better. We can play better defense. We can execute more efficiently on offense. There's nothing that we did particularly well that we could hang our hat on and say we're really good at this. Let's not worry about it. I think our goal across the board was to try to get better at just about everything we do, and use that experience that we previously talked about as a jumping off point and an understanding that we do indeed need to get better.
Well, kind of off that point, then, when you look at this team, what do you hope the identity of this group becomes?
I hope we're fast and athletic. I think we're fast and athletic. I hope we display that when we are on the floor. We've had success in this program in the past when we played fast and there was more tempo. We've kind of slowed down over the last 2 years out of necessity, and hopefully we're past that, and that we can play with a little bit more tempo at both ends of the floor, and do a better job of cleaning up those deficiencies of turnovers and rebounding. But I think speed and tempo is what I'm looking for.
Coach, before I let you go, I do want to ask you about the conference as a whole. A lot of chatter about whether this league can be a 2-bid league come tournament time. Thought there was maybe a chance we'd see that last season. What can you say about the level of competition and talent that you face on a nightly basis in the MAC?
It's hard. It's a very well balanced league. There are no bad teams. I think that sometimes hurts us. That you don't. Our good teams don't get to just take a night off and win on any given night. It is hard. Going on the road in this league is very difficult. But I think that speaks not to the fact that we're not a good league, but just how balanced we are and how tough it is to win. And maybe those bottom teams, and we were in there at one point, their RPIs aren't great, but it's still hard to win at their gym. And I think top to bottom, our league is as good as it's ever been. And it's quite a challenge. And I think somebody will have to do something pretty special in the non-conference. We've got 2 months to play some teams outside of the conference, and a couple of our teams, if they want to make the postseason, are going to have to win those games. And if they do, then we certainly have a chance. We've done it before. It certainly can be done again. But I think it needs to be done in November and December more than anything else.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, we appreciate you taking the time. Thank you so much, and we'll see you soon.
Great. Thanks so much.
Joining me now is Ohio's Kate Dennis. Kate, thank you so much for taking the time entering your senior season. How was the summer with this group, and how excited are you to get this season going?
Absolutely. Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me. I'm honored to be here. The summer has gone really great. It's been really exciting. We have a great group of girls with us. Just a few new freshmen and a few transfers, which has been really exciting. We've been working really hard, really getting along well. So that's been awesome. And then school now, like throwing that to the mix. The season's right around the corner, so it's starting up pretty soon, and we're all really excited and putting all the pieces together, and we're excited.
Well, you did have one of the youngest teams in the MAC last year. You returned 9 players, like you mentioned. How much is that continuity hopefully going to play in the team's success this year?
Yeah, absolutely. Last year, like you said, we did have a very young team. This year we have 2 transfers that are coming in, which I think is going to play to our advantage a lot because we have that experience now. And those freshmen now have a year under their belt. They know what to expect. And this group is very tight. We are really coming close together and just helping everybody get accommodated and make sense of everything. So that's been very great. But I think that everybody's going to be ready. And, we have a lot more experience going into this year. So it's just a matter of making everybody feel their part, feel at home and comfortable in the team and in our camaraderie together.
As a senior entering your senior year, what does leadership look like for you?
Yeah, so leadership to me looks like helping my teammates in any possible way that I can. I am an older sister, so that is something that I really hold near and dear to my heart is being that help for all of the younger girls in any possible way, whether it's school, basketball, if I can help explain something better to them, if I can tell them something like when I was a freshman, I wish that I knew this. I wish that I knew other people weren't the only one feeling this way. I think just small things like that, like when you're a freshman coming in, you feel probably very alone in some of the things that you're feeling. And I think it's just important. Even freshmen, some of the transfers have talked like they feel like they're the only ones that are, I'm struggling with this, whatever frustration. And just to be able to tell them, like, you're not the only one that's feeling that way. Everybody's learning this new stuff. Like, you're okay. Everything is okay. So just having that like calming presence and just letting everybody know that it's all right. It's okay. It's normal to be going through this right now. So I think I just want my teammates to look at me as the person that can like just take a deep breath. Everything is fine. That bigger sister role. That makes sense.
I love that. I'm the oldest sister too, so I can totally relate to what you're saying.
Yes, I love it.
When you look at your team right now, obviously you talked about some of the freshmen, some of the transfers. In what ways does this group look most different than the team you had last year?
Yeah, so like I had already mentioned, we have 2 transfers coming in. So I think that that's going to help us very much with our um, people that have experience with playing. I think last year it was definitely hard just because we had so many girls coming in that had not played college basketball. So that in itself was a little bit challenging. So I think that we have a lot of girls now that know the game, know the speed of college basketball as opposed to high school basketball, like how that life looks, how school looks, how, playing a college sport looks. So I think that that is going to be very helpful. They know the speed of the game, the grind of it all. So I think that really just getting our freshmen and helping them figure it out and, feel everything out and just trying to help them is going to be a main focus. But I think everybody is really on the same page, which is very exciting going into the season.
Now that your summer session is in the books, you've had a few practices under your belt. When you look at this team as you prepare for another grueling MAC schedule ahead, what do you hope the identity of the team is?
I hope that our identity is just a team that plays really hard. Coach Bob really emphasizes to us in practices and games. I've, been here for 4 years now, so he just always wants us to play hard and to always keep playing, to just give it our best, whatever that looks like that day. So I just hope that this group is a team that really plays together, that really has each other's backs, and a team that just plays hard and, wants to win. I think everything else will fall into place as long as we're all a tight-knit group and just willing to do our part and to work as hard as we can, which is what we have already shown in practices, which is really exciting to see.
Yeah, awesome. All right, Kate, before we let you go, we're going to do some rapid fire questions to get to know you a little bit better. You ready?
Absolutely.
All right, favorite food?
Steak and potatoes.
Favorite place to go on vacation?
Anywhere hot and sunny. I will say Florida.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Song you can't get out of your head right now?
Oh my gosh. Let's see. What Don't Belong to Me by Post Malone.
Okay. Dream job outside of basketball?
To work in the sports industry.
Awesome. Favorite color?
Green, of course.
Hidden talent?
I don't know if it's necessarily a talent, but I am a certified scuba diver, so that's something that normally surprises people.
Very cool.
Yes.
Favorite movie?
I love any of the funny animation movies, but I'll say Star Wars. Any of the Star Wars movies. I'll say that.
Good answer. If I'm visiting campus, where's one place I need to go?
College Green. College Green is absolutely beautiful. There's so many people on campus and so many animals too, which is like my favorite part of all. There's so many deer, squirrels, everything. So that's where like the heart of OU is.
Love it. Outside of Ohio, what would you say is the hardest place to play in the MAC?
The hardest place to play in the MAC is definitely Toledo. They get a good crowd, and it's so much fun to play there, though. I really love playing at Toledo. They have so many people come out, and it's such an exciting environment to play in, but definitely can be challenging at times.
And finally, what's one word you'd use to describe this team?
One word I would use to describe this team would be gritty. We are very tough, and we are just really willing to play for each other, which is something that I'm super optimistic about going into the season.
Awesome. Well, Kate, thank you so much for taking the time. We really appreciate it, and we'll see you soon.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.